Light the Sky Summoners, and welcome back to the League of Legends Varsity League. My name is Vulcan, with me is Chista, your shoutcasters entering the last match, the highlight match, one of the big four universities fighting it out here. University of the Philippines versus University of Santo Tomas.
Yeah, of course, quick recap. In the previous series, we saw TUP solidify their first place spot with a 2-0 win over MCL. Let's see how the upcoming match will turn out between UPD and UST. Very excited.
Before all that, let's get a short recap of what happened with TUP's games against MCL. As far as I can recall, I've been hearing the cheers and clamors around the game rooms where the players are playing. As far as I can remember, it's going to be TUP sitting at still number 1 here at 7-1 standing. Let's get straight to the rundown. Look at that, 7-1.
Yeah, that last series, that was clearly a statement by TUP because during that second game, they were fairly behind, but they showed they can out-rotate their opponent and really show why they are the top team in the LVL at the moment.
But coming up next, Oblation Esports, University of the Philippines, Diliman, versus the Tela Tigers, University of Santo Tomas, Manila. This is going to be a battle for your spot in the playoff stage. We know that UST, Tela Tigers, they're sitting at the 3rd spot, and followed by that would be the Game Changers and then UPD. The reason for UPD staying at that standing is because they do lack games to play. So let's see how they'll perform.
And finally, we get to see them.
Finally, we get to see them, the champions, ex-champions of the LCL, who represented the Philippines in the LICC, will be fighting against UST, who is also very familiar to the Varsity League scene, where we did see UST. They did get their championship in the I would say, 2016, if I'm not mistaken, of the LCL.
Yeah, you did mention that UPD did represent us. Oh, but we are headed into the
player cards here for the matchup here. But before everything else, let's get to know these players. Top for Nona, Veer in the jungle, Solus in the mid lane, Yoche for the AC, and Alto for the support. Coach name is Red Mayhem Bartolome.
But moving on to UST Slime, Cell in the top lane, Babyface in the jungle, Sarah in the mid lane, Carrots AD carrying, making his LVL debut, Uomi in the support position,
yes,
and their coach, Benson Arcano.
Yes, we are very familiar with the name Uomi. He did play for UST Tela Tigers in a previous LCL, and not to mention Veer, the jungler who won the championship for the LCL from UPD Oblation Esports, now making his second appearance in the Varsity League. This time for the first time ever in the LVL.
Yeah, of course, you did mention that UPD did represent us, but it's a completely different roster aside from Veer, and now we are going to head into the drafting phase. We see Orn banned out, very standard right now. Of course, we know he's a very strong pick in the current meta, relevant at all times of the game.
It's also one of the most safe picks, I would say. Safest picks.
Yeah, not many champions can really bully Orn as far as throughout the game, because Orn does scale into a very effective tank, very useful initiator. But looking at the rest of the bans here, I see a target ban towards Veer's Elise. He's very good on that pick. And looking at those bans, UPD will pick up the Ezreal for their first pick. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Kleptomancy Ezreal in the bot lane. Very popular as far as Runes Forge goes.
And so far for the top lane, it will be Cell in the Maokai here, followed by the Sejuani Hover for their jungler. So far, if you cannot get it's either you choose 2 junglers, it will be either the Sejuani or the Jarvan. We'll be seeing on the UST side, we'll be taking away the Sejuani, whereas UPD, it will be a hover on the Gnar, a very early counter because Maokai was revealed very first for the first pick. So I wonder how this Gnar is going to deal with the Maokai.
I think Gnar has no trouble dealing with Maokai at all, being that Maokai really doesn't win any lane matchup, and Gnar is such a huge bully in the top lane. For Nona, very comfortable on that Gnar pick. He's very good at that champion. As for UST though, they are setting up for this team fight oriented team talk, where they have the tank line of Sejuani and Maokai. They're going to try to provide so much protection for Carrots on this Tristana.
So a very good pick for the Gnar to pick up on the Maokai so far. For UST, this will be a Lulu going to Uomi, and for Yochan and Alto, they will be going for the Ezreal Kleptomancy with the Braum combo in the bot lane. But for the jungler to be the Zac.
I really like the second phase of banning coming from UPD. They banned out the Janna, which is one of the staple counters to the Zac. And with that being said, it will enable Veer to go for more aggressive engages with the Zac pick.
So let's get straight to it. I mean, UPD, the champions of the previous LCL split, fighting against UST, ex-champions also So these are the battle for the ex-champions here, and this is the first ever LVL. Let's see who will be winning up this matchup, UPD versus UST. As far as jungle goes, look at the bands coming in for the support. Nami and Jana, one of Uomi's main support champions, removed. And as for the Elise, Veer's favorite jungler.
It's a warm greeting onto Uomi. It is his debut, and already UPD panning out majority of his champion pool. Let's see, can he perform well on this Lulu?
Looks like we're ready with our drafting. Now let's get straight to the Rift to see how the first game will pan out in the last match of the LVL.
This is the highlight match of today, so I expect this to be very exciting, very interesting to see how these teams will perform.
So far, again, these are the player cards. Again, for Oblation Esports on the blue side versus the Teletigers on the red side. Best of 2 series here for the LVL bands, all summarized here. Let's get straight. I mean, this is going to be, I would say rather, a match that I think can test the skills of UST, because as I've been following the trend, following the content of the LVL, Uomi did mention that he wants to bring that championship back to UST. Let's see if he'll make it true. Yeah,
but with that being said, we are gonna head on to the Rift for the highlight match, Game 1 between UST Teletigers
versus Oblation Esports. This is going to be Game 5, and let's get straight to it.
Yeah, let's see how the junglers will opt to start their pathing. Both teams would want to play around that top side, of course. For Babyface, he wants to relieve the pressure that the Gnar can deal with the Maokai, because Maokai really doesn't win any realistic lane matchups.
And yes, when you're talking about a Maokai who cannot win any matchups, very unkillable if he builds correctly. And so far, I can say for Nuna, he can still try and farm properly. I don't know what he may be going for, but he is running the Press the Attack Keystone.
Yeah, of course, once he gets that full stack on to the Maokai, he'll just shred the tank even faster with all that bonus damage.
And when you're talking about the Gnar, he has that Fury, the extra passive, gets the speed boost, extra AD, extra burst of damage. That's something that really works well with the Press the Attack. So, top lane matchup seems pretty easy for UPD, but let's see how UST can hang on to this Maokai, who is very, very weak in the lane.
Is that a stopwatch cooling down on the Mao? I do believe
he's running Inspiration.
That his secondary is Inspiration.
So he might go for the Gargoyle Stoneblade, I would say.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of naughty plays with the stopwatch in the early game. It can really surprise some people having that stasis. Like before that 10-minute mark, they don't expect the effect from the Zhonya's Hourglass that early. It can really throw somebody off.
It is. I think he might be also running either to think maybe the Futures Market or the Celestial Body. Who knows? But for the mid lane matchup, Orianna against a LeBlanc, rather a stale matchup, I would say, when it comes to 3 level 3s.
Yeah, I think Orianna would want to just constantly wave through here, because realistically she can't go for a trade versus the LeBlanc yet. Sarah will win off once he does get a few more levels. But once Orianna scales and LeBlanc isn't able to burst her down anymore, the team fighting power from the Orianna will be very effective for UPD.
So far, I think UPD, they have very powerful enablers in the fight. I mean, they have great tools to use. I mean, they have the Orianna Shockwave, they have the Nars Wall Stun, they have the Zax Let's Bounce. They have a lot of options for tools and synergy, but it's the fact that UST, I don't see that much synergy except for the Maokai and the Sejuani. After that, what's left?
Yeah, I think for UST, oh, there's a gang!
First gang of the game already.
Oh, the cleanse!
Wow, look at that. I thought he would be dead there, but the cleanse was used at the right time just to remove every debuff that was on him.
I do believe, though, if Sarah did run the Ignite, they would have possibly picked up the kill, or if Babyface flashed aggressively to follow the flash of Solace there. Still, good saves from the Orianna, relieving. He will be, he will still be under pressure in this mid lane, having his summoners down, but now he has to play a bit more passively.
When you have 2 summoners down on the Orianna, but right in the top lane, looks like a lot of heat onto Cell. That Maokai is really taking a lot of bully, despite already having a matchup against the Nard, not getting any relaxation in the top lane.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that Veer wants to play around his winning lane, because that's what good junglers do. They know where they can snowball, and they try to push that lead even further, just showing his experience as a jungler.
So far, I would love to see maybe one of a great combo coming from UPD with the Gnar and the Zac. I mean, the special delivery plus the regular. That's something that we might want to watch out for. But as of now, 4 minutes into the game, no first blood secured just yet. Let's see how UST will play their. I think they have a stronger early phase compared to UPD.
Yeah, looking at the team comps here, you mentioned the synergy across the board. I think for UST's comp, it'll rely a lot on Sarah ending the fights before they happen, trying to assassinate one of the squishy members of UPD. And I think Veer will just back off here.
He was actually itching for a gank right there in the mid lane, but looks like it'll be too much because we were seeing so much stuff, but he's still gonna go anyways. Immediately says hello to Babyface. That would be his pass. It's gonna be blocked here, but instead he just flashes away. That would be the Permafrost landing onto Veer, forcing out his cell division. But look at the health of Babyface. Teleport incoming. That will be a save from Nuna.
Yeah, great teleport there, burned by Nuna to save his jungler, and Solace, unfortunately, with the earlier gank, not having a splash, he isn't able to chase down Sejuani for a possible first blood.
At least, I think when it comes to trade, 2 summoners per burn, I mean the flash for flash, but the passive of Veer has been removed, so that could change his behavior throughout the ganks.
Yeah, he'll have to respect the damage coming in because he doesn't have that other life to save it. Wow, Solace getting chunked by Sarah.
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about LeBlanc, that's level 5, and you were forced to burn 2 summoners very early, you would really not have a good time in the mid lane. But for CSY, he's still doing pretty well.
Yeah, I think Orianna's a fairly safe pick in the mid lane. Really not many bad matchups. And Sarah, he's doing the right thing. You're trying to punish the Orianna while she hasn't scaled and gotten these items so that she can constantly just wave fear versus her. And that's really what you want to see in a LeBlanc versus Orianna matchup.
And when it comes to level 6, I think the Orianna has more use in a team fight because of the shockwave. But leave it to the LeBlanc for the assassination. But who else can you assassinate besides Yochan and an Ezreal, who's already that mobile with the arcade shift?
Yeah, it's true. The other members of UPD are fairly tanky, but at this stage of the game, no real MR built yet. I do believe Sarah on this LeBlanc can still pop the members of UPD if a fight does happen.
6 minutes into the game, the first Drake is Infernal.
Yeah.
To be secured is the first Bloods. Looks like both teams still taking their time, trying to just stab each other in the back just to see how much damage they can deal. This is a type of strategy or type of place that you would see when it comes to teams knowing the potential and the strengths.
Yeah, they're showing their respect for each other, really respecting the amount of punishment they can deal if another makes a mistake. So I really like to see that coming from both of these teams.
Great stall with the minion wave there by the LeBlanc by Sarah to just stall the minion wave, not to get onto the turret. Great job on that so far.
Yeah, because Solace doesn't have summoners, but whoa, there is a gang, the chain lands.
Chain lands, and there's Babyface for the assist. First blood goes to UST, but here comes Veer for the counter gang, a bit too late.
An easy first blood there for the UST Teletargets. Very well played by both the mid lane and the jungle. Great flank from Babyface and great chain landing from Sarah. Very, very well played.
Very well played indeed, and so far first blood, again, going on to Sarah a LeBlanc. I can already picture the snowball that's going to be happening here because the fact that it's first blood is very crucial, especially going on to a snowball heavy champion like LeBlanc is something that UPD I don't think would want to give.
Yeah, we do know LeBlanc as a pick. If she gets ahead, if she gets these early kills, she can be very oppressive to deal with, but as the game goes on, Orianna will scale better and will be more effective in team fights, but right now, it's just LeBlanc being the first to that power spike.
And when you're talking about power spike, what comes to the Gnar, I mean, not getting kills and on this Maokai, CS-wise, very close, not that far apart. So when it comes to late game, how can Nona actually come on top of this Maokai?
I think once the Nars begin split pushing, I really don't think the Maokai can actually deal with it because if the Gnar builds towards the Frozen Mallet and Black Cleaver combo, he'll just kite the Maokai for days, even months, and we've all seen this. But realistically, in a team fight, with the Maokai not being as behind, he'll still be very useful for his team.
Yeah, when you're talking about that type of build, by the time he has that, I think the Maokai would have already secured a Ninja Tabi or a Bramble Vest. Right now, he has the Bramble Vest. So let's see, maybe Nona's contribution to this game would be in the heavy team fights that I think both teams are relatively good at. But let's see for the
Veer stuck around.
playing case right here. It's very difficult to gank a LeBlanc, so Veer is really not having a good time. Also the fact that his Elise did get banned.
Yeah, I think Veer's having a very difficult time, like you mentioned, trying to gank this mid lane. I think he should opt to move towards the bot side of the map where they have more CC having that run. But oh, there's a fight in the jungle.
Two of them see each other in the riverside here. Ultimates are up for Solus. Gets the victim, gets the sprint. There's the locker, there's the cleanse. A bit too early. That would be the tether. Fully connecting on to Sarah. Sarah gets the kill.
Yeah, I think Solus could have flashed away from the Glacial Prison there. Unfortunately, he doesn't burn the summoner, doesn't respect it landing, and he goes down for his second death of the game. And now, 2 kills onto Sarah's LeBlanc. He's just working that snowball.
And UST Tigers mid laner does have a Dark Seal, so that's something that they need to be aware of. And I would say be careful, because if Sarah feels very comfortable in this game, very confident, he could maybe get a mid if he's filling up for it, but that would be a huge gamble. To finish up Dark Seal, that's a lot of gold. 10,050 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and whenever we see Medges, we just know the player's feeling it. He knows that he is ahead. But right now, I think he'd opt to go for the Hextech Gunblade, the more standard item.
Garena ball in a Glacial Picture moving through my mountain there. There's the disengage, but the broken stopwatch is now going to be granting that involve. Yocha survives.
Veer?
That'll be Veer going for the left bounce, only getting one member. Rumi flashes away. Here comes the Maokai.
Sarah's alive.
That would be Sarah taking down Braum. Also gets taken down. Yochan has no more mana, trying to get away, but he does meet Babyface.
Yeah, so much aggression coming from the UST Teletigers. They're really trying to push their lead. And with that being said, Sarah picks his 3rd kill of the game, and nobody goes down from the side of UST. Very well played dive.
Clean dive indeed. So far, this will be UST controlling the early phase so far, but let's not remove UPD out of the game just yet. They do have the Gnar, the Zac, and the Orianna. When the late game does come, that will be their moment where they can shine the most. But let's see the replay on what happened in the bot lane.
Yeah, this is so much aggression with UST having outfed LeBlanc. They're really trying to push their lead. Veer, he comes for the counter gang, but a great flash coming from Sarah. He's able to dodge that Zac ultimate, and just the map pressure coming from the teleport. They're able to clean up the rest of this fight.
And at this point, I would say it'll just be UST cleaning up the bot lane. Look at that. I think they had the advantage there because of not just the fact that Sarah has more items, already has the Hextech Gunblade as of now. I think it's the fact that UPD, they kind of overcommitted on that flash.
Yeah, but I want to go back to your previous point where you mentioned the team fighting from UPD. Their comp is very favored for these full-on 5v5 fights. There's a lot of AoE across their comp. If Yochan and Solus are able to scale and get these damage items, they can still possibly mount a comeback once the 5-on-5 fights arrive. But now, Sarah, he is spotted out by the ward.
Standing on top of ward, he just backs away. And when it comes to the team clash, the ones I was talking about, it's all on UPD's timing, because they have to rely on that Gnar's Rage Bar. I mean, look at Gnar. He still has his ultimate, meaning he has not used it in the bot lane, so the timing wasn't right. And UST just forced it and made it uncomfortable for UPD, and that's how they won. So far, 0-4 to the kill score. 30 minutes in.
Oh, Carrots! He will get out scot-free, but looking at the mid lane, Veer, he's constantly visited that lane trying to catch out Sarah, but unfortunately, the distortion coming from the LeBlanc really shutting down the elastic slingshot of the Zac.
And yes, the Infernal Drake is still alive, and both teams still taking their sweet time and taking it easy. They don't want to risk anything, especially UST. They have a good lead. They don't want to give anything more to UPD.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised though for UST to actually make a move towards that Infernal Drake. They'd be very happy to have that, but right now,
Babyface
by Babyface, will he pick up this Raptor?
I think it's more on the pressure that the Sejuani wanted to give in the Raptor side. So far, they are trying to seize control of the map for UST. Maybe potentially start or seize the Infernal Drake. We'll see.
Oh, saw this?
All in from Sarah, no escape from there. Rampage streak for the LeBlanc and 8 stacks on that Dark Seal.
Man, there's no solace for this Oriana. He's just been being picked apart by this LeBlanc and a snowball LeBlanc. This is just what she does. If you don't respect her damage, if you don't dodge the chains, you're just dead.
And the mobility is just ridiculous. Your ball can't even match up to the jukes of a LeBlanc, but looks like Babyface making his way towards the bot lane.
Yeah, but with that being said, Babyface needs to be very careful.
Close call there, the stun may connect for one more stack here. But
I think we might see a dive, Vulcan.
Yochan is just trying to clear out the wave with a true shot here. But let's see how things will play out. Beer is there. Sarah spots up Beer. Look at that HP go. Glacier Pressure will not hit its mark, but does get the slow. Turning away the left bounce from Beer. That'll be one ultimate out. Sarah still alive, gets the
might be the chance.
That will be Glacial Pressure for 3 members in the slow zone. They can't escape just yet. Uwomi is there to shield his members, but Babyface very low. At the cost of Uwomi's life, UST will be backing off.
Yeah, Uwomi sacrificing himself for the good of his team there. And I think UST Teletigers, they overextended there, trying to pick up more kills, unfortunately not respecting the CC and the turnaround coming from the rest of the members of UPD.
And for Sarah, I think it was a bit trigger happy there. Wanted to at least first Beer, potentially start the Inferno. But let's just say Beer is building towards the already getting up some MR because he knows the potential that this LeBlanc has.
Yeah, once the tank line of UPD scales, once they get this MR, there's going to be really less targets for Sarah realistically. We already saw the effects there, but well, there's a bit of a trade here. Will Nona chases down.
Looks like Selge will just be walking things up because he did pick up the Bramble, the Glacial Shroud, and the Tabby, so that's something that I think he has no worry with this Gnar. But when it comes to the Black Cleaver being finished off by Nona, that's something that by that point he has to be aware. And Sarah, he may just pick up the first turret. Now it's going to be very risky, but Veer is spawning in the mid lane, but he will be backing off.
Yeah, Veer set up camp in the mid lane, really trying to relieve the pressure onto his mid laner, trying to save this lane because LeBlanc right now is just so snowballed, and the Oriana can't realistically do anything without the help of his team.
Yeah, and then the pressure that was already in the mid lane was more than enough. I mean, a safe laning phase for Noria is something that's very crucial and needed pre-level 6, but by that point, he was ganked once, 2 summoners gone, ganked again, that was the first blood.
Yeah, and I think that's a good show of a game plan from USA. You really want to get this LeBlanc ahead because that's what you have to do. You need to play around a snowbally champion, but looking at the mid lane, I see Babyface. He's pathing towards here. I think he might want to look for another dive onto the Oriana.
And so far, I mean, the Oriana is not doing that well in terms of KDA, but at least the CS-wise is not that far apart, so it doesn't mean Solus is not that far behind when it comes to usefulness in terms of practical in team fights. So he still has the asset of the Shockwave.
Yeah, it's only one team fight that can turn around this entire game for UPD. One big wombo combo from their draft really just shut down the entire snowball that UST has been setting up.
And for his Cell, he's trying his best to push up the lane onto Nona, and he's just trying his best to clear through. So this is a matter of just pushing the lanes, and you're talking about UST running that Tristana and Lulu. That's going to be something that UST will just gladly repeat over and over and over.
Yeah, I'm actually very surprised that the Maokai is the one pushing around the Gnar. Normally, we'd see Gnar just bullying these melee top laners over and over. But with Cell playing the matchup very well, he's able to pick up these early armor items, really mitigate a lot of the bullying potential coming from Nona's Gnar.
And going for the immediate rush to the Righteous Glory from his Glacial Shroud. So that's going to be more clash potential for UST, more power for Cell's impact in the team fight. Let's see how things will turn out for UPD. It's still early, 18 minutes into the game. First turret, however, went to UST. So far, the Inferno not yet secured, but the Baron is something that you always want to look out for and could change the flow of the team fight.
Yeah, we always mention Vulcan, probably over and over, that the Baron can work with you.
Or against
you.
Because we tend to see players not respecting the Baron's damage that much because they tend to rush the Baron at, let's say, 21-minute mark. By that time, they're not level 18, they don't have secure full items yet, And the Baron deals ridiculous amount of damage. And sometimes whoever starts it tends to lose the Baron.
Yeah, this early into the game though, I think both teams are more interested in picking up that Infernal Drake. UST would want to take that to help their snowball, or UPD taking that objective will help them scale later, but right now it is UST making the proactive move. What can UPD do?
Looks like the Glacier President will be securing Alto, but he does flash away, but Sarah joins him on the other side. The Infernal goes to UST.
There is no place safe in the jungle of UPD at the moment. Sarah, he's so fed on this guy. Whoa, the 1v1.
2v1 on the top lane. Sal will be backing up with the knockback. He will be surviving, but there is the stopwatch to buy him some time. That would be still him under the turret, being dove by the Gnar and the attack from Veer.
I actually did not notice Veer right there, so still a great gank coming from Veer, knowing that the Gnar can still punish the Mountain and chase him down with the Black Cleaver. What a dodge.
Shockwave. It's very hard to land when you're talking about a LeBlanc and seeing how UST, they know there were two members in the top lane. Now they're still pushing the bot lane, knowing that only two members can respond. The mid lane just got chunked down, forced to recall to base, and still using this time, UST is just making more and more room for them to expand their territory.
Yeah, UST are definitely playing the siege game here. We've seen Tristana earlier just absolutely demolish all of the turrets across the map, and they're beginning to move around now. They're enabling the Tristana to constantly take down these towers, and that's really what Tristana does.
And it looks like that will be a full stack onto the Dark Seal for Sarah, and immediately going for the Morelos. Maybe he might go for the Void Staff. It feels like it, but most likely, I think it's too early to tell, but for the Tristana, look at that, Infinity Edge and a Zeal, that's going to be enough. Well, that's probably not really enough when you're going for pushing.
Yeah, but Yochan has been sticking quite well with the farm. They're fairly even in CS, and the Ezreal has picked up the Trinity Force as well as the stacking Mana Moon. He will still deal a lot of damage in these team fights if he is left untouched.
So I think when it comes to the point when this Tristana picks up the Static Shift or whatever he wants to prioritize, that's going to be a lot of pressure, more pushing power for UST.
Yeah, and now UST, they've swapped around their bot lane, knowing that their bot lane is taking down the bot turrets. They rotate their bot lane to the top side and take down the top tower of UPD. And this is just standard League of Legends. Great show of macro play coming from the UST Teletigers.
Yes, when you're playing the LVL, one of a semi-pro scene, and not just some normal game, you would go for that type of macro. And I think, honestly, if you don't play like that,
Veer's in trouble.
And Veer gets spotted out, goes for the Let's Bounce here, buy some more time here. Shockwave for the delivery, plus another knockoff. That would be UPD fighting max mode. Veer still survives.
Oh, what can they take here? Here comes Carrots!
Forward along the Carrots here, but he's exhausted. Gets the reason, goes on to be a
flash
away from his knockoff. In Cell Division mode, that will be Carrots just going for an aggressive dive. May go for the triple.
What a cleanup there coming from the Tristana, and even with all that CC layered on top of each other from UPD, they're just so far behind at the moment, and they don't deal enough damage to take down Sarah or Babyface. Uwomi's able to save the rest of his team.
With that being said, that will be UPD with the kills for the kill score right now to 210. So far, let's see a short replay to see how things went out.
Yeah, it all began with Veer getting caught out in the jungle, but even with all this CC layered, with Solace being that far behind, and Uwomi being there to save his teammates, they just don't deal enough damage, and Carrots doing the right thing. He's able to clean up, and look at the fancy feet coming from the Tristana and the aggressive hops all over as well. Very well played coming from UST's AD carry.
And UST just sweeps out the mid lane, securing a more solid lead from that triple kill onto Carrots. Now let's see how can UPD fight back, because they do have that team fight potential. We saw the team up from Veer and his mid laner, but right now
this might be it.
Oh, look at Babyface. Soaking so much damage. And followed by Carrots going for the reset with the rocket jump, and Veer can't do anything. There is the ultimate here. He dodges the root, but Sarah's there landing the feather. Oh, look at the damage here. Giving the triple again to Carrots.
Another triple kill onto this already fed Tristana, 6-0 and 2. Now UST, they're looking at the Baron, and there is no way that UPD can contest this.
And with that said, the Baron was slowly falling to the hands of UPD. Death timers are just 8 seconds here. I don't think it's not going to be a safe Baron for UPD to steal because they're that far behind.
Yeah, and that's just a great use of the lead of UST. They understand that they have a snowball LeBlanc, so anybody from Oblation Esports face checking, they just get destroyed by Sarah.
604 on LeBlanc and gets the it was the Void Staff.
I'm still waiting on that Medjais though.
I don't think he'll go for it because he already has the Void Staff. I mean, when you get a Medjais, isn't that putting a red dot, a target on you, in a way?
He's had a target on his back for nearly the entire match. I mean, looking at the laning phase, Veer, he put a lot of priority into trying to relieve pressure from Solis, but unfortunately for UPD, it hasn't panned out the way it should have for them.
And for Sarah to be on that lead, I think he's going to be having a really good time on this LeBlanc. Going around the map, applying more pressure, and
he's picked up a stopwatch.
Getting a stopwatch for the Stasis may build up the Zonias. They just further pressure on the map, and UPD can't freely roam around.
Yeah, I think USD Teletigers are setting up a 1-3-1 here, sending their players with teleport to the side lanes. They're trying to exert more map pressure onto the members of UPD. And even though they are behind, we can't count out the possible miracle team fight coming from them. They have a lot of AoE across their comp, and the Ezreal is fairly fed at this point. He has farmed up his core items. If he is left untouched, he still deals a substantial amount of damage, but if he gets picked off by Sarah before the fight even starts, that's just a win for UST.
Here it comes. A little bit early off. That's going to be Fear. Not lasting that long. 4-man shock. It goes to 4-man. Let's bounce. It's not going to cut it out. Not enough damage here, but Yosha does fight back. Taking out Wome. Look at Carrots dealing so much damage.
It's already a double kill for the Strana. What else can he take?
Take away the game perhaps for UPD because right now he's going to reset. Triple again. Maybe the potential quadra kill here. Yes, he will be taking away the quadra kill.
Unfortunately, Sarah, he steals away the pentakill from Carrots, and with that being said, USD Teletigers up 19 kills to 3. They're knocking down the Nexus turret. I think this might be the game, Vulcan.
This will be the game, and UPD Oblation Esports will fall for 1-0 for USD Teletigers. This is game 1, the last match of the LPL. We'll see if UPD can bounce back in game 2.
Yeah, let's see how UPD will adapt towards the next game. We did see, of course, we have to credit Sarah on this LeBlanc, really controlling the snowball, getting so fed in the early game, and that's really what put UST ahead.
And congratulations again to UST Teletigers for securing their first game in the last match of the LPL once again. But let's see, for UPD, they're still game 2, and they still can climb up to the top 3 spot to make it to the playoff stage.
Yeah, definitely. I am looking forward to the next game. I know that UPD, they know how to adapt in these situations. Having that experience coming from Veer, of course, not a stranger to competition. Let's see how they'll adjust versus the UST Teletigers.
So there you guys have it. That has been game 1 of match 3 with UST Teletigers securing the first game. Let's see, after a short break, will UPD Oblation Esports bounce back for a 1-1 or will be forced to give away 2-0 towards UST Teletigers? We have been the Shoutcasters. My name is Vulcan, and with me was Chisto. See you after the break. The broken stopwatch is now going to be granting that end ball. Yosha survives.
Veer?
That'll be Veer going for the left bounce, only getting one member. Rumi flashes away. Here comes the Maokai.
There's alive.
That would be Sarah taking down Braum. Also gets taken down. Yoshan has no more mana, trying to get away, but he does meet Baby Bait. Shockwave for the delivery, plus another knockoff. That would be UPD fighting max gold. Veer still survives.
Oh, what can they take here? Here comes Carrots!
Forward along the Carrots here, but he's exhausted. Gets the reset, goes on to be
What a flash!
Away from his knockoff in Cell Division mode. That will be
Carrots
just going for an aggressive dive. May go for the triple.
What a clean up there.
He can't do anything. There is the ultimate here. He dodges the root, but Sarah is there landing the feather. Oh, look at the damage. A little bit early up. That's going to be fear. Not lasting that long. 4-man shock. There goes the 4-man. Let's bounce. It's not going to cut it out. Not enough damage here, but Yosha does fight back. Taking out Uwome. Look at Carrots dealing so much damage.
Already a double to 4 in this round. What else can he take?
Take away the game perhaps for UPD because right now he's later reset. Triple again. Maybe the potential quadra kill here. Yes, he will be taking away the quadra kill.
Unfortunately, Sarah, he steals away the pentakill from Carrots. And with that being said, UST Teletigers up 19 kills to 3. They're knocking down the Nexus turret. I think this might be the game, Vulcan.
This will be the game, and UPD Oblivion Esports will fall for 1-0 for UST Teletigers. This is game 1, the last match of the LBL. We'll see if UPD can bounce back in game 2.
Yeah, let's see how UPD will adapt towards the next game. We did.
Not enough Garena shells to buy the latest League of Legends skin? On sale now? Get shells anytime, anywhere with your Globe or Touch mobile number. Go to gamer.com.ph and sign up with your mobile number and enter the verification code you will receive via SMS. Log in and choose the game and pin you want. Check out to purchase the pin with your load or through your postpaid account and receive the pin on your phone instantly. Never miss a sale on your favorite League of Legends skins and champions with Gamer.